mentioned, I'm just so thrilled to just even speak about religious science, especially during these times. Martin Luther King, we're having an inauguration, we've had fires, we have hostages, we have all kinds of things going on in the world right now. And one of the things that I love is when I was introduced to religious science, the light went on. Oh my God, I am not a victim of circumstances. I participate in the world. I have a way, a consciousness that affects other things. I'm so glad that Rob spoke about prayer and religious science prayer in particular that we'll be studying, because that's what we're talking about today. So I'm very, very thrilled that we're all together on a day like this and that we're going to deepen our understanding of who we are and how we affect the world. When I always tell the story, the first day I walked in here, I saw the wisdom wall, and immediately I knew I was home. Because this is what we stand for, the consciousness of love, the consciousness of oneness, the consciousness that God is where we are. There is no absence of good because there is no absence of God. So that presence is always here. And today we're talking about the seed, the soil, and the harvest, the plant. And Jean Houston said, science of mind gives us the passion for a new possibility along with precise and clear directions. And that's what Ernest Holmes did. He gave us clear directions on how to move in our own personal life and how to move the life that we share with all humanity and our planet. And Ernest Holmes, when he grasped this idea, he starts with, in the beginning, God. And all things come from God. And he started talking about one life and that everything is infused with this life. When I teach science of mind, I usually start with a circle and say, you know, it has no beginning, it has no end. This is the one life of God. And we live and we move and we have our being in that life. And that life, in the beginning God, that life wanted to express what it is, so it brought forth life out of itself. And because it brought it out of itself, we can't be disconnected from it. We can't be separate from it. We're with it. We're one with it. So taking that idea of oneness, Ernest Holmes then looks for the metaphor to go deeper in our understanding of what it means to be one with a life that is love, that is creative, that's intelligent, that comes forth in magnificent ways. And he used the metaphor of seed, soil, and plant. So today, I want to talk about the seed and the soil, and then the harvest. Thoughts are creative. That's what we know. Thoughts are creative. And when God said, let there be, it was a creative thought. Let there be light. Let there be love. Let there be life. And because of the creativity and our oneness of God, we, as Reverend Sage mentioned, when we're speaking, when our thought comes, even though we can't see a thought, we can see the effects of a thought. So I can't see what you're thinking, but I can tell by how things are happening what your life might be about. That's why we have practitioners here every Sunday to do prayer. When my life isn't working and this has been a rough week, and I go to prayer because I see I might not even understand everything I'm thinking. I don't even know, because the thoughts come in, I'm watching TV, I hear something, I have a jumbled mess in there. I might not know everything I'm thinking, but I can see that, oh God, I'm exhausted, or I don't feel well. And then I have to go back, not to the specific thought, but to a grander idea, a greater thought that is already here. And that is that the life of God is my life right now. I'm here to express that. So in our exhaustion, in our fear, in our not wellness, in our poverty, I can say, I don't know how this all came to me, why I'm acting this out. Lots of reasons. Talk to my therapist. No. But there are lots of ideas how it all comes to you. But I don't have to stay with that because we've been given precise and clear directions on what to do. We replant. We take the idea of something greater in relationship to the issue that you're working on. And so the practicality of religious science, if you're not feeling abundant, have the thought, God is abundance itself. God contains all things. I'm one with that. Therefore, I am abundance. Now, when I first got into religious science, I thought, am I really saying this stuff? Do I believe it? Because you're saying things that are contrary to the experience you might be having. And therefore, it can set up a little bit of a dichotomy. You feel like, okay, I'll keep saying this, but I am well, I am well, I am well. You look like a nutcase. Let's just admit it. But there is something to it. It's not frivolous. It is not frivolous. It really has deep meaning. If we identify with the life of God, which is love, and Sandy so beautifully expressed Dr. King's vision of how love manifests. When I look at the world today, I know that we have work to do because we can look at the effects of thinking. And the thinking that we're looking at, the effects of the thinking we are looking at is a sense of separation. That's what we're looking at, that we don't believe we're one with the divine. I come from a very traditional setting in my religious upbringing where I wouldn't even think. It was like going to Oz. I couldn't pull that curtain. I just had to believe that I was separate or whatever it was. And it worked for me, and I'm grateful for it, but I moved on. I got a bigger thought. I was introduced to another way of thinking, and it opened the door. I say this personally and collectively. Personally, whatever challenge you are having in your life right now, whatever it is, don't try to dig it up. What is it? What am I thinking? And go through all that stress. Get a bigger thought. The seed, get a bigger idea. Who am I? I am a child of the divine life. And as Reverend Sage said, the seed, if you understand and start in that premise, which we will be doing in our prayer life, there is one life. That life is God, and that life is my life now. And it doesn't mean I'm all of God, but I am seated. God is all of me. So when we start there, the seed that we're planting allows us to move forward. Take it to my health. Right now, if I'm not feeling well, okay, I'm going to do the prayer. It's not, oh, give me a good life or make me well. It's let me move my consciousness to an established truth. God is already here. That wellness, that wholeness, it exists. It's right here. It's right now. It's moving through us. And I have to move in that way and move my thinking. Ernest Holmes said it so simply. Change your thinking, change your life. You know it. It's the truth. And it's a truth that's going to move us in the future. I love that Martin Luther King's grandson is speaking, because Ernest Holmes was saying this stuff before we all wore yoga pants and had water bottles. I mean, he's been saying it a long time, and we're catching up with it. But in the catch-up, we're all planting seeds. And so for our life, for the life of our planet, for the life that we're coming to live, We all are having the opportunity to get the biggest thought we have and can muster up about ourselves, that we are one with God, and keep working with that thought, and then apply it specifically to whatever situation you want to change, you want to experience. I am love, therefore love is in my life. I am whole, therefore wellness is in my life. I am abundant because the life of God is full. Therefore, abundance is in my life. We're moving and moving and moving till we can embrace a bigger idea of ourselves. And that's the seed, and the seed we plant. And the seed has everything in it that will come to fruition. Now, then Ernest Holmes talks about the soil. So these seeds are planted in the soil of consciousness. And the soil of consciousness is, it always says yes. If you plant a tomato seed, it's going to be a tomato. It always says yes. So if you're saying, well, I am this, but I'm not that, yes. Whatever it is, there's a yes, because it's neutral. And Ernest Holmes expresses it in the fact that there's love, but there's a law. There's a law in the universe. That's why we plant. Even though we're not conscious of the law, when we're planting seeds, we believe that there is a law at work. That law is going to bring forth the seed we're planting. And it doesn't say, no, come on, Janet, get that seed out of here, you need another one. It just says yes to the planting. So I want you to take a moment and just think, if we want to transform ourselves, our planet, if we want to transform the world that works, and create the world that works for everyone, then we have work to do together. That's why I love this community. It is so engaged in change and bringing forth information, experiences, events that keep moving us in the direction of a world that works for everyone. So the seed is neutral. And sometimes, and there are events and circumstances that influence reality that are beyond our own perceptions and beliefs. There are things, we're in a culture of many ideas and many kinds of beliefs. But while we're in that culture, the clear path, there's a path that's through that, in the midst of everything. And I don't deny my humanness. I don't worry, oh God, what am I thinking? But I am attentive to the idea, I want something to work in a better and fuller way. We have to be kind to ourselves, because if we're not kind to ourselves, we're not going to be kind to somebody else. If we don't listen, and meditation on Sunday mornings, you can sit in there and hear how you think. All of a sudden, I'm sitting in that meditation and I think, did I put that salmon in the refrigerator? What the heck? And my mind starts wandering, and then I have to bring it back, but now I'm aware of what I'm thinking. I'm aware of okay, let me think that, but let me bring myself back. Let me bring myself back. And then the harvest, we've created a vision of a world that works for everyone. And we can feel far away from that. And we can feel distant, but it's working. And we have to have the faith and the patience for it. This Christmas, I went up to Canada to be with my family, and I have never imposed my beliefs on my family. I just live them and hope that that's how they're going to incorporate. I'll talk about anything, but I always ask my own children and grandchildren, what do you believe? How do you think about it? I'm not thinking I have the only answer. I want to hear. I want to listen. And so my granddaughter put a little book of poetry together and shared her thoughts. And it was a Christmas gift to me. and she's 19. And I want you to listen to this, because at 19, this is what a 19-year-old girl is thinking about. We're all a little older. There's some of us won't admit it, but we're a little older. And we all have children and grandchildren, and we will be leaving, and we're leaving them an inheritance. We're leaving them with the seeds that we have planted, and it's out there for them. And this is how 19-year-olds are taking that in. She put her book together, her little poetry book, As We Are by Grace Garvey. And this was her birthday poem, and it just was something I wanted to share with you, because if you don't think you're doing good work, this is the harvest right here. I was tongue-tied when you asked me what I want from the universe, because I don't know what else I could possibly want, what else I could possibly wish for when I have been gifted so much. I spent years wanting my life to be different, wanting to be born in a different body on a different day, unaware of all the love I had the privilege to receive. At the moments of beauty that have been waiting for me, all the times the sun kissed my face and I didn't notice her lips, all the times the birds sung for me, and the miracle of another day, but I was too busy listening to all the reasons that life wasn't enough, all the reasons I didn't belong, all the reasons we were unworthy of belonging, to each other, to these moments, to these trees and the sky. Perhaps what it is that I want from the universe is countless moments of remembering. I want the opportunity to love, to be loved just as we are, imperfections, tattered hearts and all. I want moments of connection with myself, the forest, fellow humans that teach me that love and compassion are infinite resources. I want the world to touch me so deeply that I fall to my knees in awe as the sunlight streams through our hair. Strangers walking down the street, unaware we have been the same life all along. I want to live. I want to find adventure and joy in the smallest things, and I want us, the universe, to remind each other when we get lost of all the beauty we have yet to become. This is the harvest. This is the harvest. I just beg you, because stay the course. When young people are producing works like this, stay the course. The world can be going mad. We have something that we do, and it's precise. There is one life. That life is God. We are all together in this. This is the harvest. This is the seeds that have been planted, and we're reaping. Thank you so much for sharing with me.